Two of Africa's most iconic figures, Marcus Garvey and Haile Selassie, laid the groundwork for modern African entrepreneurship that has contributed to Africa's success today. It's a story of ideals turning into impact, and today we're diving deep into the powerful lessons they offer startups across the continent. Their approaches were different, but their goal was the same: to build a self-reliant Africa, free from dependency on Western systems. Let's start with Marcus Garvey, the master of the grassroots corporate model. Garvey saw the entire black diaspora from Harlem to London to Kingston as a single global economic market. His genius was in mobilizing this scattered community. Through his Universal Negro Improvement Association, or UNIA. He launched ventures designed to keep black wealth within the black community. His most famous venture, the Black Star Line Shipping Company, was essentially one of history's first and most successful crowdfunding campaigns in the black world. He sold shares for as little as $5, which was a revolutionary idea. This meant that everyday working people, maids, factory workers, farmers, could become part owners in a global enterprise meant to rival the giant shipping lines of the day, like the White Star Line. But Garvey didn't stop at shipping. He was all about vertical integration. Through the Negro Factories Corporation, he created a self-sustaining ecosystem. He established grocery stores, restaurants, a laundry service, and even a publishing house. The idea was simple but powerful. Black people would produce, distribute, and consume goods and services all within their own community. This kept money circulating internally, building collective wealth instead of letting it leak out into the dominant, white-owned economy. What's truly fascinating is that for Garvey, business was also a tool for psychological liberation. Owning a massive steamship or a chain of stores wasn't just about making a profit. It was a powerful statement. It proved to the world, and more importantly to the diaspora itself, that black people could build and manage massive, complex enterprises on a global scale. It was a direct challenge to the colonial mindset, a form of what he called mental emancipation. Now let's shift our focus to Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, who pioneered a sovereign institutional model. While Garvey was building a movement from the ground up, Selassie was building a nation from the top down. His focus was on creating stable, modern state institutions that could compete on the world stage, all while preserving Ethiopia's unique culture. His philosophy was modernization without westernization. One of his most brilliant achievements was Ethiopian Airlines, founded in 1945. He strategically partnered with the American airline to gain access to cutting-edge technology and expertise. But here's the crucial part. Ethiopia always maintained majority ownership and sovereign control. This wasn't a handout. It was a partnership on their terms. This smart move ensured that Ethiopia learned what it needed to and eventually built the most successful and respected airline in all of Africa, a world-class company owned and operated by Africans. Selassie also understood the critical importance of financial sovereignty. Before him, Ethiopia's banking was heavily influenced by foreign powers. So, in 1932, he established the Bank of Ethiopia, a fully state-owned central bank. This gave the nation control over its own currency, its credit, and its economic destiny. It was a vital move to avoid the debt traps that have crippled so many developing nations. By controlling their own money, they could fund their own development. Beyond airlines and banks, the emperor was a long-term planner. He introduced a series of 5-year plans aimed at transforming Ethiopia's economy. These weren't just abstract documents. They were practical blueprints for shifting the country from an old feudal system based on barter to a modern agro-industrial economy. He integrated agriculture with industrial development, laying the foundation for Ethiopia's future as a regional economic powerhouse. So let's compare these two titans. Garvey, with his diaspora model, aimed for the self-sufficiency of an independent black economy. He funded it through crowdfunding, getting small investments from the masses. His market was transatlantic, connecting black communities across the ocean. His legacy is seen today in every Buy Black movement and local cooperative. On the other hand, Haile Selassie, with his state model, aimed for the modernization of a sovereign nation. He funded his projects through state investment, using national banks and strategic 5-year plans. His market was regional and global, using aviation to build trade hubs. His legacy proves that African nations can not only run but can excel in high-tech, capital-intensive industries. So what's the big takeaway for today's African startups? It's what we might call the global advantage, thinking both globally and locally and integrating the best of both Garvey's and Selassie's philosophies. Garvey provides the horizontal link. He showed us how to connect the diaspora in Brooklyn, the innovators in London, and the entrepreneurs in Kingston directly to markets on the African continent. He built the bridges between people. Haile Selassie provides the vertical link. He showed us the importance of building the solid national infrastructure, the airlines, the banks, the communication networks that those diaspora connections need to land on fertile soil and truly flourish. You need both. You need the grassroots energy and the institutional stability. Ultimately, the shared lesson from these two great leaders is the non-negotiable power of ownership. Whether it was Garvey's steamship or Selassie's national airline, both men understood a fundamental truth. The hand that feeds you is the hand that rules you. They chose to build a future where Africa could feed itself. Their vision of economic liberation through institutional ownership is more relevant today than ever before. For every entrepreneur looking to make an impact, their legacies provide a powerful blueprint for building a prosperous, independent, and interconnected African future. Thanks for watching. If you found this inspiring, don't forget like, share, and subscribe for more stories on the visionaries who shaped our world. But importantly, I wrote these blueprints for you in a book, Africa on Sale, the Diaspora's Ownership Playbook, so you can read. See you next time.